Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming's The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 15 reaction video. What an amazing episode. You know that moment where your predictions and your chats all week long just line up almost perfectly with the spoilers? That was this week. Unbelievable job by the 999 Army in sort of sorting this episode out. I think as we played into the characters, what we knew, what we were trying to piece together, it just all kind of clicked. Now, there were a few surprises along the way. I know spoilers don't have 100% of the information, but a lot of the empty spaces certainly got filled in there. So I see we got some super chatters already. Want to say what's up to Scott. Scott's giving it a 9 out of 10. Not bad. I give it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was just absolutely amazing. Had everything that I needed it to have. And of course, there you can see the picture that was leaked out a little bit earlier. We used that as the thumbnail, so I want to use that as a topic of conversation. I know we got the spoiler out a little bit early today, and got some good comments on that whenever it came through. And I guess we're good. We got some new spoiler sources out there, so it's good to have a variety of topics and a variety of sources. You're a little hesitant when you start getting fed new information. It's like, okay, this sounds good, but never gotten any information from you before, and it was on point. It was right there. So thank you for that. And well, the one thing was they had speculated, I guess, the Sherry thing. So that was absolutely wrong. I don't know where they got that information. Blame them. That was not me. But the other stuff looked like it was pretty good. So still no Sherry. Guess it was just the idea of Sherry being there. So Pete D says episode was great, but Simon death was subpar. Pete, I think the death was more symbolic than anything else. I guess that was the point. May have been the Walker Simon, but yeah, there's a lot more they could have done with that. They could have either given Simon a pass and let him take over his own area or own community. But I just think they want an old-fashioned rumble there to show that Negan is a little bit more than someone that can beat you with a bat. So I did appreciate that, but it wasn't an epic type of death. But I think who knows? Maybe Simon will still be delivered. That could just be they got him tied to the fence for now, as a reminder. But he's going to have to let Jadis know somehow that he carried through on his end of the bargain. So tonight's reaction, basically, we won't go line by line on everything that happened tonight. I will, zone in on a couple of your comments. But these reaction videos, just going to pick one or two things that were a little bit shocking, and then we'll go with those. And then tomorrow night, we will give you the full recap episode. So Maggie says, Kills, can you still see Eugene sabotaging the bullets? Absolutely. I can see Eugene more incentive than ever because he said he was going to do something with his pathetic life, and he said that he was going to make Savior's history. So don't let the words fool you. I mean, remember, this is we're the same group that did discuss earlier in the week, and I don't remember which video. It might have been Tuesday night, where I said this episode is going to be about deceit and lies and back and forth, and Negan is going to come up with a fake plan. Now, that was not a spoiler. That was not anywhere in the information, but it just made sense with all the things going on that Negan was going to deceive everybody. And because the one thing we kept saying, and I know some of you, we did some banter back and forth. I said, come on now, Negan is smarter than that. If Simon is out there killing the people of Oceanside, he is smart enough to keep an eye on him. And they said exactly that in the episode tonight. It was funny, wasn't it? He said, I had to keep a close eye on you, keep you close, so many words along those lines, but it was like deja vu. That's exactly the way we would have written it. And I still think that I'm not giving up on Simon being led into the meat grinder. I still feel like the writers might have done that, but we'll find out next week, hopefully, early. If not, I guess he'll just be on that gate forever when they go to war. I just think they're going to pack up and say, hey, here's the plan. We know Rick's going to do this and that. And by the way, boys, we're just going to make a quick little pit stop over here by the garbage pile because I got to drop something off. And that would just be classic for me. Let's see what we got here. A couple comments, and then we'll get into a couple of my reaction to some things that Yes, absolutely. You get a salute. Guppet Master. Just a box. He makes real bullets for the revolver and then puts the blanks for the battle. That's what I feel like is going to happen. Eugene is going to be a step ahead. What's going to happen with Dwight? Dwight is going to get a nice prison suit. It's all coming together. I mean, you know, these... Chris is like, I'm tired of being wrong. That's okay. You know what, Chris? When we do predictions, the thing about that is you're going to be wrong more often than you're right. That was definitely a quadruple cross, wasn't it? Hey, juice and momentum is all it takes. So, to prevent doing the whole recap, let me just hit a couple bullet points that I thought really jumped out. You can't. I'm not going to bring up. I'm not going to harp on the mac and cheese, the sardine mac and cheese. That was disgusting. But Eugene did have a plan. He looked. He saw the walker in the reflection in the glass, so he knew he had a moment. He made it the most unorthodox escape plan. Now, I did have people messaging me saying there's no way Eugene could have crawled in the ashes and the dust wasn't flying around. So, yeah, and that part, but you got to take things with a grain of salt. I mean, not everything is going to be perfectly realistic. But just know that Eugene got back and has a new agenda, I feel like. The other thing that leads you to believe that Eugene is going to still sabotage the bullets is when he said to Father G, follow my instructions exactly. So I think he's going to give them instructions of something that's not going to work. I'm still holding out for it. I still think that's going to be the turning point in the war next week. And if you think this week was a quadruple cross, next week Negan's even taking it a step further. Hopefully you saw the sneak peek. But he's going to sacrifice 4 people. So Rick finds a fake map, or what is a real map for the sabotage. Gregory's got the thing that's going to confuse Rick, but then there's going to be another map, and they're going to think that that's a real map, and Gregory was lying to him. So he's setting Gregory up as well. All kind of neat stuff going on next week. But we can't talk about this week's episode, I think, without really touching on the Michonne Negan letter. I mean, we knew Rick was going to read the Carl letter, but Michonne just had to find the moment to get that out there. It does take away one of the predictions that I think it was Jason, the mixologist Daily, said, that they thought that maybe Negan would be at the other side of the tree and that Rick would give Negan the letter at that point. I guess he still could, but the fact that Michonne's already read the letter and Negan just pretty much broke the radio, I think we've gotten that out of the system at this point. Now it's going to have to be a little bit about war. Rick can still spare him, but I don't think it's going to be that touching moment that we talked about with Carl. I'm just reading through a couple of your comments here, and I'll go through my notes. All right, while I'm waiting for a couple comments here, let me get through one or two of the things that I reacted to. If there was something to pick at a little bit, you know, even more so than the Eugene ashes, Simon getting everybody out in the open like that to make a run at Negan, when really there must have only been like 10 of them, that was a little bit more surprising to me. So I'm going to ask the group, If you're Simon and you really want to take over the group, how are you going to go about it? That's the question I have for the group while we're doing the reaction video. Just want to see what your thoughts are. Because I think you would just slip in Negan's quarters and take care of business. But getting a group of 10 people outside when they can obviously hear everything you're talking about, it was a good episode, but that part of it probably bothered me more than anything. All right, Epic Vids 8 says, now Negan wants to kill them all and broke the radio. How can the writers make it believable that Rick would spare him at this point? The writers definitely have a challenge, Epic Vids. But it really isn't about Negan. And I would argue that it's a little bit easier to do now. Because now it's not about a negotiation. It's truly about mercy. Negan has pretty much said there is no deal. We're not doing anything. The only thing is to kill everybody. So Negan has committed himself to not following Carl's wishes. Rick will probably commit himself to his mercy prevailing over his wrath, which will give Rick the upper hand. And it will, I think, it will indebt Negan to Rick in a weird sort of way. It's not going to be flawless writing, but it's one of those things that we're probably going to walk away from saying, feeling a little disappointed. The people that are not Negan fans are definitely going to feel disappointed. So Ayatoro Collins says, well, Rick will capture, kill him. Rick's going to capture him. And I think that's going to be confusing for a lot of us after the finale. Is the war is going to end, and there's a lot of people, you can see it though. This war has taken its toll on everybody. And they're kind of going to battle because their generals are leading them into battle. But the truth is, a lot of people don't want to fight anymore. They just want to live. And I do think the writers have done a pretty good job with that of if you look at some of the background and some of the characters, it's almost like, okay, we got to keep going, we got to keep going. But they're not excited about it anymore. This is basically Negan's goal and Rick's goal to a certain extent. And at this point, it looks like Rick has a group that's a little bit more charged up to fight than Negan's group. You can already see Negan's group is split up. But Morgan wants to end this. Morgan's completely in crazy mode. Rick at the moment does, but now this Carl guilt is gonna be like an anchor around him. So Corey wants to know what happened with Sherry. At this point, nothing has happened to Sherry. She's still in play, so could be part of the Whisperer saga. Harry, I was going to say Sherry and Heath actually turns out to be Harry if you combine the two. Sherry and Heath might still be, they might take the place of Rosita and Ezekiel. Go ahead, hashtag it for me. You guys know what to do. All right, moving on. That's what happens once your third stream, your fourth video of the day, and it's extremely late. Things get a little hairy. Absolutely, Kel. They're not going to let it die. You know, it's the difficulty because keep in mind, I think The Walking Dead is for the average fan that, and take this in a good way, you guys are much more than average. We talk about Walking Dead 4 or 5 days a week. So even if it's not a topic we're readily available to talk about, we talk about someone else's topic. So on any given night, we have 5 or 6 different things. And sometimes they're repeat or they're in addition to. So when the writers are writing the script for this, they figure, well, somebody's going to watch it one time. They're going to talk about it at work. Right? That's probably your 2 things. So when you reference the ocean side, you've got to say something like, oh, Simon, are you backsliding? Oh, you know, I was trying to help someone. Oh, you did this. And, you know, at that point, the average fan is saying, yeah, Simon is the one who killed it. We're already on to that because we're sort of analyzing everything that they do. So the first or the second time the writers throw something out there for us, we're jumping all over it. We're speculating before it even becomes a speculation. Imagine that. Fluff says, we're overachievers. I like that. Just don't give up on Eugene yet. I'm quite sure Eugene is going to redeem himself, and once all the smoke settles, he's just going to end up in a big pile of ashes. But he'll be Team Rick when it's all said and done. Absolutely. Don't give up on Eugene just yet. Let's hit a couple more comments, and then I did think it was very cool that Dwight was smoking the cigarette in the exact spot where he put the cigarette out is where he had the little meeting with Simon to help Negan out. That was cool. I mean, Negan's exact words were, and I will tell you, it was something about remember what we've done and remember what we'll do. Negan said, so many notes from tonight's episode. Well, you know, it started out, Dwight said, hell yeah, I'm surprised. And, you know, basically Simon's your number 2, and they were going back and forth. And Negan said, I want you to remember this talk, remember what we've done, and remember what we still can do together. So he was baiting him the whole time to see what type of reaction. I mean, he knew he was playing him. But when he put that cigarette out at that spot, that was where the rallying point was going to be. And so, Scott, your comment was the fake plan with Negan. Oh, which one? There was a lot of fake plans with Negan. I mean, there were fake plans. Negan was playing them. Negan was asking Dwight, you know, if he wanted to be his right-hand man. But he was on to it. I mean, he knew that Dwight was going to use Gregory as an errand boy. I mean, every step of the way. And next week is only going to get worse. LH Star, thank you so much for the super chat. You can throw a question out there, follow it up with a question. We got about 5 more minutes, and we're going to wrap this thing down. This is the Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 15 reactions video. We're not going to go step by step of everything that happened tonight. We're just going to answer a couple questions, and tomorrow night we will do the complete recap. If you guys could do me a favor, a couple hundred people in the house, just once again, tap that like button, show a little bit of support for the 999 Army. Appreciate you being here, and you know, show a little love for the moderators and the group that worked so hard on spoilers and predictions all week long. Pretty proud of this group and what they're able to piece together for this episode prior to the spoilers coming out. I mean, if you go back and you watch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's videos all throughout the week and listen to some of the predictions, other than the Sherry thing, I think you guys need to give yourself definite pat on the back. Let's go super chat. We got Clown Dust says, what's up with Gregory? Badass flip out to Simon, totally out of nowhere. here the thing with Gregory is Gregory's always auditioning. So when he felt like Simon was going to kill him, he had to say, okay, well, wait a minute. Simon's looking for a certain type of personality, so maybe I'm coming across too weak for Simon or too much of a strategist. So he wants a tough guy, so I'm going to step up and be a tough guy. And he did. And that did not work out very well. And then, Simon basically told him, look, I wasn't going to kick you out. I wasn't going to kill you. Let's start with coffee. Just make me some coffee. And he's like, okay, yeah, I can do that. I can make good coffee. I mean, he's whatever needs. Gregory's a chameleon. Gregory is very, very similar to Eugene in personality. And in fact, I think they're almost at the same point. Gregory did have more leadership skill than Eugene, but now Eugene's starting to get a little bit of that. So if there's two characters I could see some similarities in, it would be those two. The Jethro says, why would you trust anything from Gregory? At this point, I don't know that many people trust each other, Jeffro. I think it's about people are truly a resource. I mean, Negan said it, but what do you do? If you kill everybody, you got nothing. And at a minimum, he can make good coffee. I mean, it sounds really silly, but it's one less thing that Simon would have to do for himself. He may be an absolute idiot, but at this point, they're running out of idiots. They're running out of people that can just do simple things. And you kill everybody that pisses you off, you're going to be in the world by yourself. And, if you think about it, even the people that have survived this long have to have at least a little bit of either they're self-serving, maybe even a little quirky, or egotist. I mean, if you look at the people, it's just not your average person that has lived this long. I mean, you got to have something to survive as long as they have. All right, we're going to hit a couple more comments here. Let me see if there's, what's up, Red Elastic? Good to see all you guys. So, one or two more things that we can react to. I do want to say, and we'll talk about this tomorrow night, I do think the exploding bullet theory is still very much in play, more so than ever. Because now it seems like more of a surprise. And the fact that Eugene just basically told everybody. See, I think that's one of those things where if you want something to be a surprise, you put it right out there in the open. And Eugene basically said to Father G, like, these things aren't going to explode. You're doing it wrong. I think you're doing it intentional. I think that was just the writers planting a seed that all looks well, but it's really not. And, the last thing I'll touch on, it may have been minor because I know, there's people out there that aren't big fans of Aaron or big fans of Oceanside just because it seems like a filler or kind of a subplot. I really liked Aaron's speech. I think they were content to let him survive, let him die, whatever happens. His fate is his fate. But when they see how willingly he just doesn't want to die. And Aaron snapped. The first couple walkers, he killed them, he survived, and then he just took that stick, and it was just like all the pent-up emotion came out of Aaron at that point. And the very next thing was the speech and that you need to fight. So I thought it was solid. I thought Ross Marquand did a very good job in that scene. It was a little, I felt it. I felt like it was a powerful speech. And you can see the reaction. I mean, they're out there in the rain, and the reaction on all the ladies' faces looked like, you know, at least a few of them are ready to step up to the challenge. Whatever that next challenge may be. All right. And we are about at 25 minutes. We are going to wind this thing down. It was a little later start. So next week, I'm going to come up with, I don't know what we're going to do next week, guys. This is going to be, we might run at 12:30, and I know it's going to be rough for a lot of people because you've got Walking Dead, you got Fear the Walking Dead, and then you got a Talking Dead that I really don't want to compete with that because they're going to have so many good people on the show next week. So more than likely the reaction video will be super, super late. I'll keep you posted on that, or we might even push the reaction video to Monday night. We'll see how everybody feels. Everybody's super charged up and jacked up. We'll go ahead and do it. But I want to thank all of you for being here. We will be doing this again tomorrow night at 9:30. If you're new, subscribe to us. Hang out. We'll be talking about The Walking Dead from now all through the summer. We're going to be here. And next week, we're really going to kick off the whole Fear thing. We'll have more Fear spoilers throughout the week, so stay tuned for everything. Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to get a few shout-outs. I'm probably going to struggle with them because it is so late. But if you want to shout out, you want to be part of this video, give me a quick 999. I'm going to start with the moderators. I want to say thanks to Bree, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells, also all the patrons listed over on the left. You can see the sponsors as well, the super chatters that are in the house and support this channel, and to all of you who are here every day and participate, your thoughts, your comments, everything, just phenomenal. So thank you for being here. Petey Wheatstraw, Scott Kernan, Carlos Andretti, Corey, AJ Jepson, Sandra Wiley, Raiden Roach, Sergeant Chosen One, Chris Rainey, Guppet Master, Brian Clayton, 999 Baby, 1189 Paris, Ron Burgundy Moore, Liz Burnett, Meat Grinder, 3851. We're holding tight. Maybe we get to see the Meat Grinder again next week. Just maybe a little cameo. Tammy Pickles, what's up, Pickles? Cammy, good to see you. Richard Brooks, Maria Favada, Michelle M., Mambo 55, Gene Atkins, Lenore Smith, Corey Whittington, LH Star, Epic Vids 8, Sheldon Arthur, The Walking Dead Nerd, Jimmy's Jammin', The Cat Nat, Hunter Christensen, Remy Gaming, Teleprompter for President, Cassandra Carey, thank you so much. Hippo in the House, Pieces 200,368, Madison Dickey, thank you so much. Love your support. Appreciate you being here. Carol Brothers Payette. Charlie Amos. Bumblebee Brown. Lonnie. Gina Crockett. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here for all the streams as well. Jeremy Battle. R. Grimes 12. And I'm going to wind up the shout-outs, but those of you still here, just do me a favor. If you've watched all of the streams and all 4 of the videos, just want to give you one big special shout out. Give me a quick 555 in chat. We'll mix it up a little bit. So if you have, if you're here for all 3 live streams and also watched the spoiler video a little bit earlier, just throw a 555 in there. Just want to give a super special shout out. I know not everybody could, but that way I just know whose day was as long as my day. There you go. So as those are streaming, just want to get a little bit extra recognition. I'm not going to read them back out, those of you, but I just want you to know that I appreciate everything that you guys do. Thanks once again, everybody. I will see you tomorrow at 9:30, and we'll kick this thing off all over again. Peace.